what's up? It's Richie here with Statifying Football. This is for week 2 for the NFL games, the Sunday games and the Monday night one. Starting with Cincinnati and Chicago. Cincinnati had a nice overtime win against Minnesota, 27-24. Joe Burrow, 261 passing, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 127 rushing and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 5 catches, 101 and a touchdown. Defensively had 3 sacks in that game. Chicago lost to the Rams 34-14. They were able to keep it close for a while, but then the Rams pulled away. Andy Dalton, 206 passing and a pick. David Montgomery had a really good game, 108 yards and a touchdown. They did turn over twice in that game. I think this will be a pretty close game. David Montgomery for Chicago may be able to keep it close, but I'm going to say Cincinnati will come out. I think Minnesota is a good team, so I think Cincinnati may be decent this year. I'm going to say Cincinnati comes up and goes 2-0 and beats the Chicago Bears. All right, the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. Houston looked good against Jacksonville, 37-21. Tyrod Taylor, 291 passing, 2 touchdowns, plus 40 rushing. Brandon Cooks, 5 catches, 132 yards. They put up 449 yards of offense and forced 3 turnovers in that game. Cleveland looked really good. They were up against KC. They lost late, 33-29. Baker Mayfield, 321 passing, but he did throw an interception. They put up 457 yards of offense and turned it over twice. This could be a pretty close game, but I think Baker and Cleveland bounce back and wins that one. All right, the Rams and Indianapolis Colts. This should be a pretty good game. The Rams, they beat Chicago 34-14. Matthew Stafford, in his first game with LA, played really well. 321 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Defensively, had 3 sacks and 2 turnovers. Indianapolis lost to Seattle 28-16. Carson Wentz, 251 and 2 touchdowns. They had 3 sacks. Like I said, this should be a pretty close game, but Matthew Stafford looked really good. The Rams may be a Super Bowl contender this year, so I'm going to go with the Rams to beat Indianapolis. All right, the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The Bills, they lost a good game against Pittsburgh, 23-16. Josh Allen, 270 passing, a touchdown plus 44 rushing. Miami had a nice win against New England, 17-16. Tua passed for 202, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and ran for 1. And defensively, they forced 2 turnovers. If Miami can do that to Josh Allen, which he does hold on the ball, he takes sacks, he does fumble it, Miami's got a chance to go 2-0. I'm gonna say the Bills actually win this one, but that should be a really close, interesting game. All right, then the New England Patriots take on the Jets. New England, they lost that game to Miami 17-16. Mac Jones, though, looked great in his first start. 281 passing and a touchdown. Damian Harris, 100 yards rushing. They turned over twice, which is part of why they lost only by a point. The Jets, they lost to the Carolina Panthers 19-14. Zach Wilson was fine in his first start, 258, 2 touchdowns and a pick. This will be an interesting game against 2 rookie quarterbacks in their second game. I'm going to go with Bill Belichick, though, and the Patriots to win that one. All right, this should be a fun game. A surprisingly good game. San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. San Francisco, they beat Detroit 41-33. They were up 38-10 in the third quarter. Let Detroit come almost all the way back and then held on. Jimmy Garoppolo, 314 passing and a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, 104 rushing and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 9 catches, 189 yards and a touchdown. They put up 442 yards of offense. They turned it over 3 times, which is what helped Detroit get back into the game. Defensively, they did have 3 sacks and an interception return for a touchdown. While Philly, they destroyed Atlanta 32-6. Jalen Hurts looked great. 264 passing, 3 touchdowns, plus 62 rushing yards. They put up 434 yards of offense, and they had 3 sacks themselves. This should be a really good game. I'm going to give the slight edge to San Francisco, even though I guess San Francisco probably has to travel pretty far, but that'll be a close game. I'm going to go with San Fran, though, just because I think Philly's newer to the winning stuff right now. Maybe they'll be a Super Bowl contender too, but San Francisco looks like it's coming back with all their injuries, and I think get a win. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another really good game here. The Raiders, they beat Baltimore 33-27 in overtime. Derek Carr, 435 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception thrown. Darren Waller, 10 catches, 105, and a touchdown. They put up 491 yards of offense. Defensively, had 3 sacks against Lamar Jackson and 2 turnovers, including a fumble late that helped them set them up for the winning touchdown. Pittsburgh had a nice win against Buffalo, 23-16. Roethlisberger was fine, 188 passing and a touchdown, but they won with their defense, 3 sacks, and had a blocked punt return for a touchdown. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh here in a close game. I think Roethlisberger gets the offense going a little bit more. But, I mean, Baltimore's got a good defense, and the Raiders were able to move it on them, but I'll still go with Pittsburgh in that game. All right, New Orleans and Carolina. New Orleans beat Green Bay 38-3. Jameis, 148 passing yards and 5 touchdowns, plus 37 rushing yards. Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns, but he set an NFL record with the least amount of passing yards ever, while also throwing 5 or more touchdowns. They ran for 171 yards as a team. They forced 3 turnovers, set him up for some short fields. I can throw 3-yard touchdowns. I think we'll see if he's that good. Defensively, they forced 3 turnovers. Carolina beat the Jets 19-14. Sam Darnold, 279 passing, 1 touchdown, and 1 rushing. Defensively, they had 6 sacks in that game. If they get on Jameis like that, Jameis fumbles a lot. He'll throw a bunch of interceptions. I'll still say New Orleans wins, maybe in spite of Jameis. I think Jameis is going to mess up, but I think Kamara and that defense will win it for him. All right, Denver and Jacksonville. Denver had a nice opening win against the Giants, 27-13. Teddy Bridgewater, 264 passing and 2 touchdowns. Melvin Gordon ran for 101 yards and a touchdown. They put up 420 on offense. Jacksonville, they lost to Houston 37-21, but Trevor Lawrence wasn't too bad. He did throw 3 interceptions, but he also threw for 332 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, that may be a little too, if he keeps throwing those interceptions, I think this will be closer than people think against Denver, but I'm going to go Denver with the win. All right, Minnesota and Arizona. Minnesota lost in overtime to Cincinnati, 27-24. Kirk Cousins, 351 passing and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, they did have 5 sacks. If they can get Kyler Murray down, that's going to help them. However, Arizona and Kyler Murray looked fantastic against Tennessee, 38-13. Kyler Murray, 289 passing, 4 touchdowns and a pick, plus 20 rushing yards and a touchdown. Defensively, they had 6 sacks. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks alone. He should be player of the week. I don't care what every offensive player did. 5 sacks in one game. That's incredible. And they forced 3 turnovers. I think Arizona could be, like I said, a Super Bowl contender. But they're in the toughest division maybe in the league, the NFC West. All teams, I think, went 1-0 this weekend. And I think Arizona will get this win over Minnesota. All right, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Atlanta looked terrible in their first game for their new head coach against Philly. Lost 32-6. Matt Ryan only passed for 164 yards. Tampa Bay had a nice win against Dallas, 31-29. They did turn over 4 times in a game and still scored 31 points. They probably should have blown Dallas out. Brady, though, was 379, 4 touchdowns. The 2 interceptions he threw, one bounced off a receiver's hand and one was on a Hail Mary. Antonio Brown showed up, 5 catches, 121 and a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 9 catches, 105 and a touchdown. They put up 431 yards of offense. This may be a blowout again over Atlanta. As long as Tampa Bay doesn't turn it over 4 times, they should be able to take care of Atlanta with no trouble. All right, Dallas and the Chargers. This will be a good game. Dallas lost the close game to Tampa Bay, 31-29. Dak Prescott threw for 403 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Amari Cooper, 13 catches, 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches, 104 and a touchdown. They put up 458 yards of offense and forced 4 turnovers. The Chargers had a nice win against a good Washington defense, 20-16. Justin Herbert, 337 passing, a touchdown and a pick. Keenan Allen, 9 catches, 100 yards. They had 424 yards of offense, but they turned it over 2 times. They can't do that against Dallas. Even then, I'm going to go with Dallas to win. I think those receivers know what they're doing, and I think Ezekiel Elliott will get underway and get a good game. All right, Tennessee and Seattle. Tennessee, they got destroyed by Arizona, 38-13. Ryan Tannehill, 212 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, plus 1 rushing. They only had 248 yards of offense and turned it over 3 times. Seattle looked good against Indianapolis, 28-16. Russell Wilson had a great game, 254 passing, 4 touchdown passes. Tyler Lockett, 4 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And defensively, they had 3 sacks in that game. I think Tennessee will make it a little bit closer and look better than they did, but I think Seattle will win. All right, the Sunday night game, Kansas City and Baltimore lost a little bit of its luster since Baltimore lost 33-27 in overtime to the Raiders, but Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Baltimore, LJ was 235 passing and 1 touchdown pass plus 86 rushing yards. They put up 406 yards, but they turned it over twice. They can't do that. KC, they came back to beat Cleveland 33-29. Patrick Mahomes, 337 passing, 3 touchdown passes, plus 18 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Tyreek Hill went all Tyreek Hill with 11 catches for 197 yards and 1 touchdown. Fun game here. Should be pretty high scoring until the Chiefs fall off consistently. I'm not gonna really pick against them, so I'm gonna go with the Chiefs to win that one. And then the Monday night game, Detroit and Green Bay kind of lost its luster a little bit because Green Bay looked horrible against New Orleans. They lost 38-3, maybe the worst game of Aaron Rodgers' career. 133 passing yards, 2 interceptions. They only had 229 total yards. They turned it over 3 times in that game. Whereas Detroit, they lost to San Francisco 41-33. They were down 38-10 though at one point and almost came all the way back. Jared Goff passed for 338, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. They put up 430 yards of offense defensively. They had 3 turnovers in that game. I do think Green Bay will bounce back a little bit and Rodgers will look better, but I think Goff in Detroit may surprise. I'm going to go with Detroit for the win. So those are my picks for the NFL Week 2. Check out my other videos for college football as well. Peace.